Good morning, students. What I was seen in the previous class, that is position vector, properties of components of vector, vector addition, what is distance, displacement, what are the difference between distance and displacement, then what is momentum, then displacement vector, how to measure the displacement vector, that all are discussed in the previous session. Okay. In the today's session, we will discuss about that integral and differential calculus. Integration and differentiation is a completely mathematical formulas. That the mathematical formulas, it will be used to solve some physical phenomena, and it will be used to measure some physical values, area, length. It will be the integration and differentiation. The two types of mathematical formulas, it will be measure some physical quantities. Okay. So without the maths, we does not learn anything in physics. Okay. So first, already you learn in maths what is integration, what is differentiation. First I explained that what is differential calculus. Differential is nothing but just as mentioning that the derivative of one thing. You have to consider one phenomena, one function is there, that the function will be depend upon one thing. For example, you have to measure the temperature. The temperature, it will be changed, it will be increased with the temperature, with time, or decreasing with the time. So changing one thing with respect of another one thing, it will be mentioned in the derivative form. Okay. Derivative is nothing but d form. Okay. So first you should consider as one function. So I have considered the one function as t, capital T. So capital T and then t. Temperature, it will be changed with the time. So t of t, temperature is a function, it will be changed with the time. So t of t. So f of x is a function of 1x. So what's the meaning that one thing it will be moving, that the function will be denoted as f of x, it will be equal to x square. This is the one equation. Function of 1x will be equal to x square. Okay, ma'am? So function of x, it will be denoted as y. Okay. So y is equal to x square. F of x will be just simplified as y is equal to x square. So y is equal to x square, you have to take the differential formula dy by dx. What's the meaning that y it will be changed with respect of x. What's the meaning that in the equation x change panningina y automatically change agum. So y change, difference in y with respect of x, it will be denoted as derivative, that is differential calculus. So differential calculus just mention that d by dx. d by dx is differential, differentiation. Okay, so d by dx, so the y is dependent variable because it will be depend upon the x to be changed and y also changed. But x is independent variable because no one to change the x value. So y is equal to x square, y is the dependent variable, it will be depend upon the x, and x is the independent variable, not to be depend anything. Okay, so how to calculate the dy by dx in this formula? Dy by dx, so more and more differential formula is there. I will give one example. For example, y is equal to x power n அப்படினு ஒரு formula இருக்குன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. How to differentiate? How to differentiate means dy by dx is equal to the power n, it will be taking in front n, x, the power it will be reduced by 1. This is the formula. X power n is equal to n into x power n minus 1. இதுதான் differentiation. Okay. Xல ஏதாவது ஒரு பவர் இருக்குன்னா அந்த பவரை நீங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட் கொண்டு வந்துட்டு அந்த பவர்ல இருந்து 1 சப்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணுவோம். அதான் differentiation. So dy by dx is equal to n into x power n minus 1. So this formula you have to apply this one, x power n. n க்கு பதிலா இங்க 2 இருக்கு. அப்ப எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்ணுவீங்க? dy by dx is equal to n x power n minus 1. So 2 x power 2 minus 1. Okay. So 2x power 2 minus 1, what's the value? 2x power 1. So definitely 2x. So y க்கு நீங்க differentiation எடுத்தீங்கன்னா அதோட value 2x. இன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் நான் உங்களுக்கு கொடுப்பேன். y is equal to x power 5. How will you differentiate, ma? X power n is equal to n into x power n minus 1. So 5 x power 5 minus 1. So 5 x power 4. Okay, this is the differentiation. Another one example I will give. X power 7. So 7 x power 6. ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல, இது தூக்கி முன்னால கொண்டு வந்து இதுக்கு previous number ல ரைட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அது differentiation. Okay ma? So differentiation of another one. This is x square, x cube, x3. In the trigonometry, sin x, cos x, tan x is there. So differentiation of sin x is d by dx of sin x is equal to, this is the formula. எப்படி நீங்க algebraல a plus b the whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab ன்னு formula படிக்கிறீங்களோ அதே மாதிரி டிஃபரன்ஷியேஷனுக்குன்னு ஒரு formulas இருக்கு, இன்டகிரேஷனுக்கு formulas இருக்கு. அதை நீங்க அப்படியே மக் அப் பண்ணி தான் ரைட் பண்ணணும். ஓகேவா? So d by dx of sin x is equal to cos x. Okay, d by dx of sin x is equal to cos x. d by dx of cos x is equal to cos x is equal to minus sin x. Okay, then d by dx of one constant, ஒரு constant நீங்க differentiate பண்றீங்க அப்படின்னா that value will be 0. So differentiation of x is equal to dy dx of, sorry, dy by dx is equal to x square எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா that value is 2x. X cube is equal to 3x square. But dy dx of sin x is equal to cos x. dy dx of cos x is equal to minus sin x. dy dx of constant is equal to 0. But all of the formulas, it will be used to derive something. Derivative, you have to take derivative something. Okay, differential calculus having some formulas. So you have to learn thoroughly. After you have to work out the formulas in the differential form. Okay, this is the differentiation. Differentiation is nothing but you have to take derivative of one thing. Derivative means d by dx. d by dx in போட்டீங்கன்னா the differentiation. That's all. Okay. So next I will go for integration. Integration. This is the integration. Integration just only it will be used to measure the area. We have to take one square. We have to take one circle. We have to take one rectangle. Easily you know that the area. Area of square for area of triangle, sorry, area of rectangle is length and breadth. இதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு ஃபார்முலா தெரியும், நீங்க அப்படியே நீங்க ஏரியா கால்குலேட் பண்ணிடலாம். பட் you have to take an irregular shape object. For example, one stone. Stone does not having any particular shape. So you have to take irregular shape object. How to calculate the area? So that the way the integration will come. The integration will be used to denote the area of irregular object. Irregular இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டுக்கு நீங்க எப்படி ஏரியா ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற டைம்ல தான் இன்டகிரேஷன் வருது. ஓகேவா? ஸோ இன்டகிரேஷன் இட் வில் பி ஜஸ்ட் டினோட் த நார்மலி ஒன் பேரபோலிக் ஷேப், ஒரு பேரபோலா மாதிரி ஒரு ஷேப் எடுத்துருக்கீங்க. இந்த பேரபோலிக் ஷேப்பில் எப்படி நீங்கள் வந்து இன்டகிரேஷன் ஃபார்மில் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் யூ ஹேவ் டு டேக் ஒன் ரெக்டாங்கிள். ஒரு ரெக்டாங்கிள் எடுத்துருக்கீங்க அப்படின்னா இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கிராஃப் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. இதில் ஒரு ரெக்டாங்கிள் எடுத்துருக்கீங்க அப்படின்னா normally it will be mentioned as a length is there and breadth is there, p. So length and breadth. So area it will be equal to length a to b. So area it will be mentioned as p minus a, second point minus first point, by breadth is b. So this is the area, but in a particular shape. But in a irregular shape அந்த மாதிரி parabola இருக்குன்னா you have to stretch the lines in x-axis and on y-axis. Okay, so in x-axis 5 lines is there, and y-axis 5 lines is there. That the lines will be mentioned as first the object will be having the one side and another one side. ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட் நீங்க இப்படி எடுத்துருக்கீங்க, இந்த ஷேப்ல இருக்கு, இதுதான் ஆப்ஜெக்டோட சைஸ். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட் a, last boundary is b. First point f of a and last boundary is f of b. Okay, so tell us is the difference between the first point to second point. அதாவது இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஷேப் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. இதுல இந்த லாஸ்ட் ஷேப்பை ஏன்னு எடுத்துருக்கீங்க, இந்த ஷேப்பை பின்னு எடுத்துருக்கீங்க. இங்க இன் பிட்வீன் உள்ளதை x1, x2, x3 வேரியஸ் ஷேப்ஸ் சைட்ஸ் எடுத்துருக்கீங்க, வேற வேற லைன் போட்டிருக்கீங்க. அந்த ஒவ்வொரு லைனுக்கு இடையில உள்ள கேப் வந்து del x. There is del x and that is also del x and that is also del x. That is also del x. Del x is nothing but it's just a difference between 2 points. Okay. So இதெல்லாம் del x. இதுக்கான ஃபங்க்ஷன் நீங்க எழுதுறீங்க. a அப்படின்னா f of a, x1 f of x1 and x2 f of x2 and b f of b ரைட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. இதை நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம் அப்படின்னா, ஒரு irregular ஷேப் இருக்குது அப்படின்னா அது ஷேப்பா நீங்க மாத்தணும். இப்போ கிராஃபுக்கு கீழே இது ரெக்டாங்கிள், isn't it? This is rectangle, this is triangle. Then this is rectangle, this is triangle. This is rectangle, this is triangle. This is rectangle and this is triangle. So we consider the irregular object. You have to split off into more and more mathematical forms, that is rectangle and square, rectangle or triangle. You have to decide it, and then you have to area under the graph you have to find out. Sometimes in the area 2 areas is there, triangle and rectangle. So we find out the area of rectangle and area of the triangle. You have to add the 2 areas. This will be denote that the area will be under the graph. ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை, ரெகுலர் ஷேப்னா அந்த ஷேப்புக்கான ஃபார்முலாவை அப்படியே கண்டுபிடிச்சிடலாம். irregular ஷேப்பா இருக்குன்னா அந்த கிராஃப் நீங்க ட்ரான் பண்ணி அதுக்கு கீழே உள்ள ஏரியாவை ரெண்டா ஸ்ப்ளிட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இங்க ரெக்டாங்கிள் இருக்கு, இங்க ட்ரையாங்கிள் இருக்கு. ஸோ இதோட ஏரியா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணி இதோட ஏரியா ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணி ரெண்டையும் நீங்கள் merge பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா ஏரியா ஈஸியாக ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் ஆகும். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் கால்ட் integration. Integration just to tell the area under the curve. So one curve it will be taken, the area will be under the curve, just to mention in the integration form, that will be called as a area of the irregular object. Okay, so what's the way we will find out the area of the area of one shape with the integration form? A is equal to area A is equal to f of A into the value is del x, then f of x1, that the value in between the two values it will be in del x, plus f of x2 in between value is del x, and then f of b in between value is del x. This is the area, it will be mentioned in the integration form. எந்த ஒரு திங்னாலும் அது லிமிட் ஃபார்ம்லேயே நீங்கள் எழுதணும். ஸோ லிமிட் ஃபார்ம், லிமிட்னா ஒன்றும் இல்லை, லிமிட் வாட்ஸ் வர் லிமிட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. வாட்ஸ் வர் லிமிட் மீன்ஸ் யூ ஹேவ் டு மூவ் இன் ஒன் பாயிண்ட் டு அனதர் பாயிண்ட். ஒரு பாயிண்ட்லேருந்து நீங்கள் இன்னொரு பாயிண்ட் வரைக்கும் போகலாம், இதுதான் உங்களுடைய லிமிட். ஸோ அதே மாதிரி இந்த கிராஃபும் எந்த லிமிட்டுக்குள்ளே அடங்குது அப்படின்னு பார்க்குறதா லிமிட் ஃபார்ம். ஸோ லிமிட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் ஃப்ரம் del x is equal to 0. இந்த இடத்துல del x வேல்யூ is 0. ஸோ del x tends to 0, summation of I is equal to 1 to n, function of f of n, xn and del xn. This is the limit form of area. Okay, limit form just mentioned with limit and then summation. So limit just mentions the del x tends to 0 and summation of I is equal to 1 to n f of xn, xn and del xn. This is the area form in the limit form. But in the integration, A is equal to integral of A to B, A and B வரைக்கும் அந்த thing ஆயிருக்கு, f of x into dx. So integration is always mentioned with கொக்கி மாதிரி போடுவாங்க. ஓகேவா, மேலேருந்து கீழே வரைக்கும் ஒரு லைன் போடுவீங்க, இதுதான் இன்டகிரேஷன். ஸோ இன்டகிரேஷன் லோயர் லிமிட் அண்ட் அப்பர் லிமிட் இட் வில் பி மென்ஷன். ஸோ f of x into dx, A is equal to integration of A to B f of x into dx. Okay, this is the integration. So differentiation integration some formulas இருக்கு. First you have to thorough it. Then integration just it will be used to measure the area of one thing. Okay, this is the integration. Next we will go for average velocity and instantaneous velocity and relative velocity. What's the meaning that average velocity? Average velocity is nothing but you have to take one thing, it will be moving. You have to consider one bike, it will be moving first 20 km and next 40 km, next 60 km. So the average velocity of the bike is 20 plus 40 plus 60 by 3. 3 ஸ்பீடில் ஒரு பைக் போகுதுன்னா அந்த 3 ஸ்பீடை நீங்கள் ஆட் பண்ணி 3ஆல் டிவைட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு தான் ஆவரேஜ் வெலாசிட்டி. In this vector, in this vector denotation, average velocity just mentioned is del r by del t. What's the meaning that del r by del t? Change in position by change in time. So change in position by change in time means position vector you should know that. So change in position vector by with respect of time, that is del r by del t, it will be denoted as average velocity. So more and more position is there, you have to add the positions and then it will be divided with the time. So del r by del t is sum of the position vectors by time. So that is called del r by del t. That is the average velocity. But instantaneous velocity, what's the meaning that instantaneous velocity? Velocity at a particular time. Instant means ஒரு கரெக்டான டைமில் கரெக்டான வெலாசிட்டி கொடுக்குது. ஸோ இன்ஸ்டன்டனியஸ் வெலாசிட்டி மீன்ஸ் வெலாசிட்டி வித் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் வித் இன்ஸ்டன்ட் ஆஃப் டைம். ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் டைமுக்குள்ளே நீங்கள் வெலாசிட்டியை சொல்கிறதுக்கு பேர் தான் இன்ஸ்டானியஸ் வெலாசிட்டி. ஓகே, ஸோ இன்ஸ்டானியஸ் வெலாசிட்டி இஸ் மென்ஷன் அட் limit del t. So del t tends to 0, del r by del t. Okay, so in the limit form you have to mention with instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity is always mentioned with the limit form. Okay, so limit del t tends to 0 and del r by del t. What's the meaning that del r by del t, ma? Del r by del t is nothing but dr by dt. Tr by dt. What's the r? R is Tr by dt. R is the position vectors. So R is the position vector means R oda value enna, R oda formula enna, x I cap plus y j cap plus z cap k cap. Already I taught in the previous session, R vector is equal to x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. So dx by dt I cap, dx by dt into I cap plus dy by dt into j cap plus dz by dt into k cap. Okay, this is the instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity na onnu illa, or particular time na oda velocity na. So instantly the velocity within a time, that is called instantaneous velocity. So instantaneous velocity just mentioned in the limit form. So del t tends to 0, del r by del t. So del r by del t, you have to remove the limit form. So dr by dt you have to mention. So d by dt of r value is x I cap plus yj cap plus z k cap. So we have to take in the differentiation dx by dt into I cap plus dy by dt into j cap plus dz by dt into k cap. This is the instantaneous velocity. Okay. Then motion along one dimension. What's the meaning that motion along one dimension? Motion along one dimension means one thing will be moving in x-axis only. R is a position vector, but the vector will be considered an x, y set. So xi, yj plus zk mention பண்ணிக்கீங்க. But R will be taken as only in x-axis. The object is moving along only in x-axis means, so x-axis velocity in one dimension அப்படின்னு எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா only that vector will be considered an x-axis only. Okay. So x-axis means del x by del t. What's the meaning that del x by del t? The object in x-axis, it will be change the position with the time. So del x by del t. What's the meaning that x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. So object will be moving from second position to first position and time is second position to second time minus first time. So x2 minus x1 by d2 minus d1. This is the change in distance in x-axis with the time. So distance by time it will be tells the velocity. That is the average velocity. What's the meaning that instantaneous velocity? I just mentioned the limit of del t tends to 0 and del x by del t. Okay. Here del r by del t position vector எடுத்திருக்கனால instantaneous velocity is del r by del t. But in only the vector will be considered an x-axis just mentioned with dx by del x by del t. Del x by del t இங்க நீங்க எப்படி del r by del t dr by dt ன்னு எடுத்தீங்களோ அதே மாதிரி del x by del t is dx by dt. dx by dt is equal to velocity. So v is equal to dx by dt. So dx is equal to b into dt. We want x, we want v, anything. So we want v into dt. We want x. X is equal to integration of t1 to t2 v into dt. Listen it ma. Differentiation you have to convert it into integration. Just remove the d and just put the question mark. Okay. So dx நீங்க வெறும் x மாத்தணும்னா இங்க இருக்க டேர்மை இன்டகிரேட் பண்ணணும். So differentiation you have to remove by the way of integration. So integration it will be applied to one quantity and differentiation it will be continuously changed into the integration. Differentiation எப்போ integration மாறும் அப்படின்னா d it will be removed in the differentiation form by applying integration. Integrate பண்ணா மட்டும்தான் இதுல இருக்கக்கூடிய differentiation remove ஆகும். Okay. Differentiation will be nearly opposite of the integration. So differentiation நீங்க remove பண்ணா integrate பண்ணணும். So x is equal to integration of v into dt. Okay. This is the instantaneous velocity. The thing will be moving along the x-axis. Okay. So one thing will be moving along the x-axis. We easily find out the average velocity and instantaneous velocity. So first average velocity, instantaneous velocity. What's the meaning that average velocity ma? Average velocity is nothing but change in distance by time. Velocity is nothing. What is the velocity ma? Velocity is displacement per time. So displacement by time already I explained in the previous class. Displacement vector is r vector, so del r by del t. Okay. Then the limit of del t in the instantaneous velocity is just mentioned with the limit. So limit del t tends to 0 and del r by del t. Okay. Then we have to limit del r la neenga eppome limit is always mentioned with the del. But you have to remove from the limit. You have to take from the limit. Just mention with a d. Okay. dr by dt is equal to d by dt of r value. You have to put xi plus yj plus zk. So dx by dt into I cap, dy by dt into j cap, dz by dt into k cap. So this is the position vector instantaneous velocity. So motion along one direction it will be mentioned with the x. So x basis I have to mention with del x by del t first you have to find out, and then you have to mention with the limit form, and then you have to take del x by del t in the from the limit form. So just mention with dx by dt, and then we want x is equal to integration of t1 by dt, sorry, t1 to d2 v into dt. அதாவது இன்டகிரேஷன்ல லோயர் டேர்ம் அண்ட் அப்பர் டேர்ம் சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ லோயர் portion one value is there, starting portion, and upper term is the finishing portion. So integration one Cookie form is there. The lower it will tells the starting value and upper it will tells the finishing value. Okay. Then average speed. What's the meaning that average speed? Average velocity is displacement vector by time, but average speed is distance by time. Total path length by total time. That is called average speed. So average speed is tells that average speed is equal to total path length by total time. What's the meaning that ma? Total path length by total time is one thing, it will be start from one point, continuously it will be moving, reach a particular kilometer, but it will be reached as a finishing point. So continuously you have to mention the length of one question and second question and third question. So the total path length it will be calculated. So total path length by total time it will be called as average speed. Okay. So average velocity, average speed, instantaneous velocity, instantaneous time, and then motion along one dimension also I explained. Now we will go for relative velocity. What is the meaning that relative velocity now? Relative velocity is nothing but it will be explained that relate with one another. Relative velocity. So one velocity, one thing velocity it will be relate with the another one. So we have to mention with the velocity with respect of the another one. Okay. So I have to compare with one student mark with the other student mark. Okay. This is the relative velocity. Relative velocity means relate with one another. So first relative velocity. For example, A, B you have to take. A is object, B is object. We are taking the velocity VA and VB. Okay. I have to compare the velocity of A with respect of B. So VAB, this is the relative velocity. Velocity of A with respect of B. So VA minus VB. Okay, this is the relative velocity. Relative velocity means velocity of A with respect of B, that is VA minus VB. VB is the VAB is equal to VA minus VB. Then VBA it will be mentioned that VB minus VA. What's the meaning that ma? With velocity with respect velocity of B with respect of A, that is VB minus VA. Okay. So this is the relative velocity. Relative velocity is just to tell the minus sign. Then, but it will be one thing. It will be one velocity of one thing. It will be related with the another velocity. So VAB is equal to VA minus VB. VBA is equal to VB minus VA. Okay. Then we take the three cases. First case, we take the two velocity, two things A, B, two things having some velocity. It will be moving in a same track, but in the same direction. VA was sorry, VB was sorry, two things move out. VA and VB, okay. VA and VB, it will be moving in a straight line, but in the same direction. But in the same direction, VAB is equal to VA minus VB, and then VBA is equal to VB minus VA, okay. So relative velocity, normally two things will be moving in the same direction but same line. Normal relative velocity VAB is equal to VA minus VB. VBA is velocity of A with respect of B, velocity of B with respect of A. It will be tells the VB minus VA, but it will be in opposite direction. What's the meaning that opposite direction? Two objects A, B, but it will be moving in opposite direction. A and B. It will be moving in the opposite direction. B it will be considered as minus B. Okay. So the VAB is equal to VA, but in velocity of B it will be in opposite. So minus of minus VB, it will be equal to VA plus VB. This is the relative velocity of A with respect of B. But VBA is equal to VB. VB is negative, so minus of VA. So minus B minus VA, you are taking the minus out. So VA plus VB. Okay. உங்களுக்கு புரியுதா? ரெண்டும் சேம் ரெண்டு திங் போகுது, ரெண்டு திங்க்கும் வெலாசிட்டி இருக்கு. ரெண்டு திங்கும் மூவ் ஆகிட்டு இருக்கும்போது ரெண்டும் சேம் டைரக்ஷன்லேயே போயிட்டு இருக்குது. அதாவது டூ மெம்பர்ஸ் will be running in the same track. You have to consider. So relative velocity of first person with respect of the second one, VA minus VB. Relative velocity of second person with respect of first one, VB minus VA. So, but in one person will be moving in forward direction, another one person is moving in the opposite direction. Relative velocity VAB is equal to VA. Second person will be in opposite direction. So minus of minus VB is equal to VA plus VB. But in VA is equal to minus VB. VB க்கு பதிலா minus VB போடணும். So minus VB minus VA is equal to minus, you're taking minus at the outside. So VA plus VB. This is the relative velocity in the opposite direction. And third case is it will be in the perpendicular with one another. What's the meaning that one person will be moving forward, another one person will be orthogonal with each other, another one person will be moving perpendicular with each other, and then cross over. Okay, so two persons will be considered now orthogonal with each other. Orthogonal with each other now, moving in the same line, theta it will be considered as 0. Already in the previous session, VAB is equal to root of VA square plus VB square minus 2VA VB. So first, so orthogonal with one another means 90 degree. Formula is cos theta is there. Okay, cos 90 is 0. So first we taking the formula A plus B is equal to ஒரு formula இருக்கும், அந்த formula நீங்க write பண்ணிட்டீங்க. A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta ன்னு சொல்லி addition நடத்திப்பேன், triangle of addition. So VA square plus VB square minus 2VA VB cos theta. Then again tan alpha is equal to B sin theta by A plus B cos theta ன்னு இருக்கும். So இங்கே VB sin theta by VA minus VB cos theta ன்னு எடுத்துக்கும். Okay, two formulas you have to consider. That the two formulas by applying theta first 0. First formula you have to apply theta is 0. Theta is 0, cos 0, 1. So cos 0, 1. So VAB is equal to root of VA square minus VB square minus 2 VA and VB cos 0. That is 0 போடுறீங்க. Cos 0 ஓட value 1. Okay. So what's the formula ma this? A square plus B square minus 2AB. So what's the value ma? So VAB is equal to root of VA plus VB the whole square nadalama. Why? A plus B the whole square is equal to A square plus B square minus, so VA minus VB square nadalama. Okay va? Because minus 2AB irukku. So minus VA minus VB the whole square. So VAB is equal to whole square. Remove pannina VA minus VB. So this is the relative velocity of VAB is equal to VA minus VB in the 90 degree, not a 90 degree. It will be perpendicular with one another. Theta it will be taken as 0. Now theta it will be taken as 180 degree. 180 degree at taken an just theta value, you have to put the 180 in this formula, VAB formula. VAB is equal to root of VA square plus VB square minus 2 into VA VB cos 180. Cos 180 value is minus 1. Okay, minus 1. Just substitute it. VA square plus VB square minus into minus plus 2VA VB. Okay. Now the formula is A square plus B square plus 2AB. So root of VA plus VB the whole square. So now taking the square rooting on both sides, VA plus VB. So this is the relative velocity of VA at an angle of 180 degree. Now we will take it at an angle of 90 degree. 90 putting in a cos 90 value is 0. So cos 90 is 0. VAB is equal to the last term la cos க்கு 90 degree போடுறீங்க, இந்த இடத்துல 90 போடுறீங்க, அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்? cos 90 ஓட value 0. So automatically the last term to be 0. So VA square plus VB square. This is the formula for relative velocity at an angle of 90 degree. So just put angle theta equal to 0, just theta is 180 degree and theta is equal to 90 degree. Okay, 90 degree we easily can find out VAB is equal to root of VA square plus VB square. Okay. Now we consider one case. Okay, we consider one case. Your book having one example. That the example is one man will be moving in a road during the rainy season. During the rainy season means the man carrying an umbrella also. So one man, okay, man carrying an umbrella, okay. Carrying an umbrella. Then that the man will be moving forward, okay. Rain will be falling. So man, movement and rain. It will be in a perpendicular with one another, okay. And the person, அவன் போகிறது வந்து ஃபார்வர்டாக போயிட்டு இருக்கான், ரெயின் மேலேருந்து கீழே விடுது. So it will be in a perpendicular with each other. So perpendicular with each other, you have to solve the third case. What's the third case? VAB is equal to VA square plus VB square minus 2AB cos theta. Perpendicular 90 degree போடுங்க. 90 degree போட்டால் என்ன வரும்? நான் இப்போ தான் சொன்னேன் 90 degree போட்டால் என்ன வரும்? cos 90 ஓட வேல்யூ we want to calculate velocity of rain with respect of man. Rain oda speed calculate பண்ண போறீங்க. Velocity of rain, relative velocity of rain with respect of the man, it will be equal to square root of relative velocity of the rain square, velocity of the man square minus 2VRVM cos 90. Cos 90 எடுத்துக்கோங்க. Okay, cos 90 ஓட வேல்யூ ஆல்ரெடி told 0. So root of, though it is 0 na, now we gotta multiply the whole term, it will be 0. So VR square plus VM square. This is the relative velocity of man with respect of rain. Rain ku man ku இடையில உள்ள relative velocity தான் நான் இப்ப ரைட் பண்ணிருக்கேன். VR square plus VM square. Then angle we will find out tan theta is equal to tan inverse of VM minus VR. This is the angle. What's the angle? எந்த ஆங்கிள் அவன் வச்சுட்டு போனோம் அப்படின்னா ரெயின் அவன் மேலே ஃபாலோ ஆகாமல் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நம்ம டினோட் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா that the angle theta is equal to tan inverse of VM by VR. Rain speed and then man speed, you have to know that easily find out the theta angle. So tan inverse of VM by VR. So okay, so this is the relative velocity with respect of man with the rain. Okay, so in this session we already tell that differential calculus and integral calculus. Differential calculus, it will be just mention the derivative. Differentiation of one thing with respect of another one. It will be calculated in the differential form. Differentiation of x square is equal to dy by dx is equal to y is equal to x square and dy by dx is equal to 2x. So x power n is equal to n into x power n minus 1. That's the formula. இதை மட்டும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. x power n is equal to n into x power n. இதை வச்சு நீங்கள் எந்த வேல்யூ வேணாலும் நீங்கள் டிஃபரன்ஷியேட் பண்ண முடியும். இதுதான் differential calculus. Integral calculus means you have to take xy axis, the area it will be plot versus between the xy continents, not a continents, xy constitutions and the xy உடைய things உடைய values க்கு நீங்க ஒரு graph plot பண்றீங்கன்னா அந்த graph, under the graph tells the area of that thing. So the integration will be used to denote the area of the irregular shape objects. Then some integration is there. Integration is always mentioned as this form, and then lower one value it will be tells, and then the upper starting point of value it will be fixed at the lower, and finishing point of the value it will be tells the upper point. Okay, this is the integration. And then average velocity, instantaneous velocity and relative velocity. Average velocity means change in displacement by time, so del r by del t, and instantaneous time is limit of del t tends to 0 del r by del t. Relative velocity means velocity of one thing that will be related with the another one. VAB means velocity of A with respect of B. VBA is velocity of B with respect of A. That will be considered, and three cases is there. Two thing it will be moving in a forward direction and same same line you have to consider, and then opposite that side we had consider, and then we had calculate also, and then last one that the through thing it will be moving in a 90 degree with one another. It will be perpendicular with one another. It will be easily calculated. And then we consider one case, one man it will be moving forward during the rainy season. rain velocity will be denoted with a map, so easily find out. Okay, so vrm is equal to root of vr square plus vm square plus 2 vr vm into cos 90 degree. Theta it will be considered as a 90 degree because it will be perpendicular with the one another. Then vrm is equal to root of vr square plus vm square. That all are the velocity, average velocity, instantaneous velocity and relative velocity. What is average speed, ma? Total path length by total time. Okay, so that all are discussed in the today's session. And today home assignment is for today's session. Learn and write the relative velocity. Relative velocity in one and two dimension. One and two dimension motion means xy axis la the thing move agudhu. Okay, relative velocity நம்ம calculate பண்ணது xy axis. ஒரு thing xy axis la move ஆகுது அப்படின்னா அது பார்த்தா one and two dimension motion. So learn and write relative velocity in one and two dimension motion. Okay, thank you.